I'm Allendale's chief meteorologist Ryan Martin with a look at your midday weather update. Latest check of our surface analysis across the country as a whole shows that we have an advancing frontal boundary working through the northern plains and upper Midwest. Warm front pushing across northern parts of Minnesota and into Wisconsin is triggering scattered rain showers now. This is warm sector precipitation. Now, I'm not going to rule out maybe some sloppy wet snowflakes trying to mix in parts of that area up there, but this is fueled by a pretty good run of south wind. So the air mass still should be warm enough that we're going to be seeing mostly liquid precipitation there. Now, this is a front that's going to work its way through, and it's going to bring another push of cool air. However, this is not the one that brings in the huge amount of cold air that we're expecting for all of next week. That one actually right now is several hundred miles back to the north and west, just now working through parts of southern Alberta, through central Saskatchewan, and the low pressure associated with that front actually is in northern parts of Manitoba. The Arctic high behind that cold front is the one that's really going to jerk us into winter mode very, very quickly. But this first one will likely keep clouds top of mind across the Corn Belt and just a little bit more moisture, as we kind of mentioned in our online write-up this morning. Yeah, you can see some light stuff kind of popping up across the region as you go through the overnight tonight and into tomorrow. The big cold air push, though, still is going to be coming as we go through the first part of next week. There's no reason to change our thought process on that. We're still looking at temperatures through most of next week, averaging 10 to 20 degrees below normal for this time of year, probably even colder than that in some spots. And we are going to be seeing a little bit of precipitation along that leading cold front as it comes through. Now, computer models have started to put out their snowfall estimates here. I think most of them are just a little bit overdone. I'm still looking for rain to mix in with the moisture just a little bit. But the best areas, as we mentioned this morning in our online write-up, will be in south central parts of Minnesota, just across into Wisconsin, and maybe into northern Iowa. I think in those areas we can see, a little bit of snow, accumulating snow, couple inches possibly. The biggest total I've seen so far has been a European model forecast that puts down almost 5 inches in parts of Minnesota. I think that's probably just a little bit overdone because even at 5 inches, at a 10-to-1 ratio, that would be a half an inch of moisture, half an inch of water equivalent. And I guess I'm looking to cap things at about a third of an inch there. So, if it were to all be snow, maybe you could get me to talk about 3 inches in parts of Minnesota. But I guess just don't think we're going to be all snow. Timing's going to be key. If the moisture does come in for the most part during late day periods Monday through the overnight Monday into early Tuesday, you could make the argument, and I would have to agree with you, that we would be looking at all snow. But I think we could see the moisture come in just a little bit ahead of that. Still, a third of an inch of water equivalent is all I'm really looking at going forward here. So if you're hearing some of these snowfall forecasts that are really going over the top, let's just kind of step back a little bit. Keep in mind, this is going to be a very wet snow, all right? This is going to be a snow that's early season. Yes, the cold air is coming, but this is not super dry, powdery stuff that can pile up quickly. This is going to be a wet event. The precipitation spreads across the rest of the Corn Belt then through Tuesday. It will be dwindling as it goes. I think once you get into Indiana, Ohio, scattered snow showers, probably some accumulations on grassy surfaces, cars, and things like that. But the moisture equivalencies there just are not impressive, and by Tuesday it's through. We're very, very cold through the rest of the week next week. New model run information here at midday doesn't really get us too overly excited about breaking out of the cold air until maybe mid to late weekend, next weekend. That's when we'll start to see some temperatures moderate. Now, morning model runs have been kind of interesting, and even back into last night, trying to handle what's to come as the air does moderate. Models all of a sudden, especially the GFS, try to go a lot wetter. I guess I'm not as wet in my thought process as the GFS, but even the European now is saying, look, as we get some of this more moderate air, you got to look for a frontal boundary to tap into some Gulf moisture coming through the Mississippi River Valley, maybe as we go into and through the 18th, 19th, 20th. That frontal boundary is going to be key in terms of timing. It can definitely tap into the moisture, but, does it sweep through fast or does it move slow? We're going to be moving out of a deep trough kind of scenario over a large part of the country, trying to get more zonal flow. Even you can make the argument toward a ridge trying to build in. So does the front move fast? Does it move slow? Right now, models are going to say a little bit toward the faster side of things, picking up some moisture there, a lot of it in the deep south, and then bringing some across Illinois, Indiana, Iowa even. and it's going to be pre the next cold front moving through. So that's probably going to be something where we see rain, followed by maybe a little bit of cooler snow, cooler weather and wet snow before everything finishes. The time frame we're looking at again here, specifically the 19th and 20th, but I'm going to open the window from the 18th through the 21st. And then we'll be cooler than normal, I think, right on through the week before Thanksgiving there. And as we head toward Thanksgiving Day itself, going to have to keep an eye out for a little bit more moisture coming in. I think we're setting up to see a few more Clipper-like systems move across the country. No significant change in South America's weather pattern at this point in time. This will be key as we go through the weeks ahead. I've still got decent rains over a large part of Brazil. I'm still keeping the watch flag up just a little bit on Argentina in terms of getting some moisture in, although I will grant you that as we go toward the later part of the forecast window now, 21st, 22nd, I do see a better front coming across all key areas of Argentina that could put anywhere from half to 1.5, almost 2 inches of rain down. I really would like to talk about that more if we were seeing that within a 8 to 9 day forecast window rather than all the way out at days 14, 15, and so forth. But if that were to happen, that would probably allay my dryness fears in Argentina. So far, I haven't really heard anybody else talk about a whole lot of dryness issues there either. So South America right now looking fine. Temperatures still trending above normal. Now, models are suggesting longer term that we shift gears into a below normal temperature pattern. Not seeing anything here short term that says that's going to happen, but we're still going to watch that as well going forward. That's what we've got in your forecast here at midday. If you've got any questions on the weather, give us a call at Allendale. I'm Chief Meteorologist Ryan Martin.